shifting focus for now, the Dalai Lama has made a historic announcement. He says he will be reincarnated and only his trust will choose his successor. And China is furious. Amid all this, there are also growing questions about the missing Panchen Lama. He hasn't been seen in the last 30 years. Where is he? The United States and India are watching closely. The Dalai Lama's announcement could set the stage for a new spiritual and geopolitical battle. Here's what has happened today. The Dalai Lama, who turns 90 on Sunday, has confirmed that he will be reincarnated after his death. In a video message played at a gathering in Dharamshala, he declared that the Gaden Phodrang Trust, a non-profit institution that he founded, will have the sole authority to identify his successor.
If it's about the Lama's reincarnation, when all the followers have unanimously said that the reincarnation should continue, then it is obvious that it will come. Since my 24th September 2011 statement, which states that responsibility for doing so will rest exclusively with members of the Gaden Phodrang Trust, the office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, they should consult the various heads of the Tibetan Buddhist traditions and the reliable oath-bound Dharma protectors who are linked inseparably to the lineage of the Dalai Lamas. They should accordingly carry out the procedures of search and recognition in accordance with past tradition.
The gathering in Dharamshala was attended by over 100 monks, journalists from around the world and long-time supporters, including Hollywood actor Richard Gere. The Dalai Lama's statement directly challenges China's claim that it holds the right to approve the next Dalai Lama, and China has reacted swiftly. The Chinese Foreign Ministry reiterated that the Dalai Lama's successor must be approved by Beijing. It said that the reincarnation must happen in China through a centuries-old ritual involving a golden urn. And that's because Beijing views the Dalai Lama as a separatist. He fled Tibet and came to India in 1959 after a failed uprising against Chinese rule. The Dalai Lama has previously said his successor will be born outside China, and he urged followers to reject anyone chosen by Beijing, which then brings us to the Panchen Lama question. The Dalai Lama's announcement has renewed focus on a long-standing question: where is the Panchen Lama? And that's a question that we here on Gravitas have asked several times. In May 1995, the Dalai Lama named 6-year-old Gedun Choeki Nema as the 11th Panchen Lama. He is seen as a reincarnation of one of Tibetan Buddhism's most important spiritual figures. But just 3 days after he was named, Chinese authorities allegedly abducted him and his family, and they have not been seen for 30 years. China instead installed its own Panchen Lama, who has risen within Communist Party ranks. But the Tibetans in exile, they only see Gedun as the true Panchen Lama. Human Rights Watch has also, in fact, described his enforced disappearance as an attempt by China to control Tibetan Buddhism itself. As for how the Dalai Lama is traditionally chosen, traditionally, Tibetan Buddhists believe that when a Dalai Lama dies, he is reincarnated in the body of a child. The monks search for signs as well as test the child's ability to recognize belongings of his past life. The current Dalai Lama was identified in this way at just 2 years old. But China continued with its political interference in a sacred spiritual tradition. India is home to over 100,000 Tibetan Buddhists. The Dalai Lama's presence in India gives New Delhi diplomatic leverage over Beijing. And the United States has also stated that it will not allow China to influence the choice of the next Dalai Lama. In 2024, then President Joe Biden signed a law pressing Beijing to resolve disputes over Tibet's autonomy and human rights. But now the Dalai Lama has made it clear that his successor could be of any gender and will not necessarily be born in Tibet. The Gaden Phodrang Trust will oversee the identification process in consultation with Tibetan Buddhist leaders as well as Dharma protectors. And with this, the Dalai Lama has put China on notice.
说什么嘛，也都超过的。